Welcome to Reset Today with Stephanie J. You've just tuned into the show that allows you to reset in any area of your life. So come on and join me. Hit that reset bell and get ready to start fresh. All right, did you do it? That's my signal. Hopefully you found yours. And I'm going to talk to you just for a little bit today on the topic of start where you are now. I say that one more time in case you missed it. Start where you are now. Yes, right now. You may not be in the place that you desire. You may not feel that you are in the best of conditions, but you can still start where you are right now. Remember, I shared in the introduction, and I think on the first episode following, the definition of reset, and the meaning, it simply means to set again or anew. It also means to make a change to a routine, a behavior, or a habit, all of which we are capable of doing. Many times we seem to feel that it will just take so much to get out of something or to get into something. I shared on my other podcast, A Brand New Day with Stephanie J, a story about Johnny Appleseed. Now, I don't know about you, but that was a book that I grew up hearing about and learning very early in my elementary school days. I always believed that, it was a fictional character. And I found out one day doing a Google search that Johnny Appleseed really was a real person. His name was John Chapman, and he walked west, walked to various states from Pennsylvania to Ohio to Missouri, and he was famous and known for planting apple seeds. And later, those apple seeds began to blossom and bloom into apple trees, and they said that this man just had a desire to make the West a much nicer place to live. And it talks a lot about how he had a love for people and for animals, and how he got along with even wild animals. When other people were carrying guns, he was very friendly. He said that he was friendly with the Indians. They taught him how, to hunt for food and things of this nature. But this man did not have a lot. He did not have riches. He was not wealthy. In fact, the stories that I read said that he walked so much that he wore his shoes out. He had rags basically for clothes, and the only thing that he supposedly possessed was a violin, which he would play for people. They'd invite him over for dinner, and he just lived a very simple life. But what he accomplished in his lifetime, to me, was remarkable, because as he planted those seeds, they began to blossom all over. They said, he planted on prairies and places that was just land, and they began to grow trees, and the apple trees formed, and people began to take and harvest those apples, and they made pies and ciders and jams, and people began to build their homes around where this man walked all over and planted these trees. So I really think that that is fascinating. And I said on that particular episode, what he did not require a meeting. It did not require a boardroom or any such thing. It did not require millions of dollars. He simply ate apples, and the story says that strangers handed him apples mostly. So he ate the apples, he saved the seeds, he carried the seeds, he planted the seeds, and it yielded a harvest in the lives of, many people for years to come. And so that's my point to you today. You can start again. You can start anew. You can make changes in your life. And it doesn't matter how bad it may seem. I was reading earlier today, I was doing some studying. I was, out for a little bit, but once I came in, I was determined to get some studies done because I've just been so busy lately. And it seems like toward the evening, the time just gets away from me. And so I was really determined today. And I was reading Psalm 84. And the first line of that verse of scripture says, "How amiable am I?" And I think this is probably the first time that this jumped out at me like this. The definition means to have a friendly or a pleasant manner or disposition. But when I looked at that word, I saw, "Am I able?" I said, that's interesting. So I want you to know today that you are able. Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that out loud right now. Am I able? And I'm going to answer that for you. Yes, you are able. Yes, you are capable. You were made in the likeness and the image of the creator of this entire universe. Genesis tells us that he made us in his image, and he said that we were to subdue, we were to take dominion, we were to rule. So, are you able? Yes, you are. Go ahead, grab your device right now, wherever you are, grab that bell, grab whatever you have handy, hit that reset bell. That's your signal. That is your reminder. Just like when we used to have recess, as I said, you'd hear that bell ring and you'd know, oh man, it's time to stop playing. It's time to stop having fun. And now I have to get up and go back into that, classroom. And I'm sure many of us as children looked forward to that time during the day when that particular bell would ring, either the lunch bell or the recess bell, because it meant freedom. It meant freedom from the classroom, freedom from sitting at your desk, freedom from doing the work. So that's what we're going to keep in mind during these segments. It is just a simple reminder that you can reset. Look at the situation. Just don't stay there. The Bible tells us in the book of Psalms, I will look to the hills from which cometh my help. Well, in order to look to the hills, you have to look up. So you have to look up from your circumstances. I did a few episodes on A Brand New Day called Do You Got a Lot, where I talked about the story of Abram and Lot in Genesis 13. And in verse 14, it tells us God said to Abram, look up look from where you are now. He said, look up. He didn't say look down. He didn't say, look down at the circumstances, look around you, look what has happened since Lot's been in your life. No, he said, now look up from where you are. And so sometimes that's the starting place. Stop looking down. You've been looking down long enough. You've been being held down long enough. You've been allowing yourself to be held down long enough. You've been allowing people, circumstances, issues, statistics, all of these things have been factors in holding you down. There's a song by Lauren Daigle that I like called Look Up Child. That's what we need to do. Yes, I understand that there is much going on. I understand that things are looking bleak. I understand that there are a lot of changes coming through, and the world as we know it has taken a major shift. And I personally do not feel that it's ever going back to the way that we did life, the way that we knew life. But you can still embrace where you are. You can still live your life. You can still find enjoyment, peace, happiness, and all of that, even in the midst of chaos. I've been talking, especially on my other show, about some changes that I was making to my home, sitting around and looking at, furniture and the walls, and, maintenance had to come in, and then they had to put everything on hold because of COVID. So about 4 months, I had to look at my ceiling half complete. But I was not just focused on that. I was looking around at all of the changes that I wanted to make. And as soon as things began to let up, I started moving out on those changes. I've been ordering furniture. I've been in and out of stores. I've been online. And just a few days ago, my last major piece of furniture was delivered. And so now I'm looking for, new decorations for my wall and my room and my son's room, and everything is just coming together and I'm feeling good. And guess what? It did not take $1 million. It didn't even really take, well, it took a couple thousand, but it was done in part. And every day I'm planning, I'm plotting, I'm looking, I'm searching. I know what I want. I'm looking for it. And that's, in a sense, what you have to do. You have to start where you are now. Don't sit back and worry about how it's all going to come together. That is not for you to worry about. All you have to do, and what you need to do right now, is start with a decision. Make a conscious decision of what you want in your life. Make a conscious decision of where you want and where you need to be. This is not about anybody else. Don't look at this person or that person or continue to tell that same old story about, well, I would have done this and I would have done that. I had a sad illustration of a loved one, and I won't, put him out there. He passed away now a few years back, but I was having a conversation with him one day, and he shared with me why he was so miserable and why he had such ill feelings towards one of my loved ones. And the words that he said to me was, "She stole my dreams. I had a dream to do A, B, and C, and she stole my dreams when we got married, and I was never able to do it." And I told him, you could have, and you could have gotten a new dream. So, it is high time and past time for making excuses, looking at the past, talking about what someone else has done. You can start where you are. You can make a decision right now. It is your life. You are responsible for building your life. And too often, we have put this responsibility in the hands of others. Sometimes it was through religion. Sometimes it was through guardians or parents. We let people tell us what we should be, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. Okay, it's over. Water underneath the bridge. Where are you now? Why are you where you are now? It's because you've made a decision in one way or another, whether consciously or unconsciously, to be where you are and do what you're doing. And if you are not happy, if you are not satisfied, understand today that you can make a choice. It's up to you. All you have to do is start where you are. Dust off those plans, go back to that attic, go into your office, go in your car, wherever you have those plans, open up your journals, get your notebooks, sit down and begin to flesh out those ideas. See where you are now. Is that what you still desire? Are those goals still in tune with where you see yourself or where you're heading? And if not, guess what? Scratch it out, tear the paper out, rip it out, do whatever you have to do. Start fresh. But the key is to just start. Time is too short. Life is not going to go on forever. Whatever you desire, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you see yourself doing, I am encouraging you. Yes, I'm being like that cheerleader on the side. How amiable, A-M-I-A-B-L-E. The word is pronounced amiable, but I'm saying amiable. Am I able? Am I able? And the answer to that is yes, you are. So go ahead and hit that reset bell and get started where you are today. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you.